The Algarve in Portugal offers an array of holiday destinations, from unspoilt Moorish villages with exclusive accommodation to the more developed purpose-built resorts. And one favourite location for British holidaymakers contains a little of both. It swells to bursting point in July and August with families and fast-moving young clubbers. Jenny Hull boogied on down to Albufeira to see if 3,000 hours of sunshine a year was enough to promise fun in the sun.
Since Roman times, the Algarve in Portugal has dealt with earthquakes, floods and invasions. Today, it's another kind of takeover: tourists. Albufeira is one of the most popular and certainly one of the largest holiday developments in the Algarve. Each year, hordes of tourists come here, most of which are British, all looking for their piece of sun and their patch of sand. And let's face it, there's plenty to go round. Once a traditional fishing village, today every inch a resort packed with sun worshippers. Albufeira Old Town is somewhat submerged by modern development. Newer resort villages have sprung up on the outskirts, like Praia Dora, my place in the sun for a week. Most apartments have swimming pools. This one's nice and quiet. All I have to do is settle in. There are some really nice restaurants to eat out in here in the Algarve. But if you're a vegetarian like me, it's good to go self-catering, because then you can eat what you want, when you want. And the food's really inexpensive. The local beach at Praia Dora is another magnet for sun-hungry tourists. Plenty of sporting action, but if it's peace and solitude you're after, this is not the place for you. Almost every other building is a restaurant or a shopping opportunity. When night falls, it's a venue for the sport of holidaymakers, karaoke, sangria and disco dancing.
For many, Albufeira by day is about sun worshipping, slapping on the lotion and topping up the tan. But for most by night, it's about topping up your glass, letting down your hair and having a really wild time. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here and things are beginning to warm up.
I'm sorry, call me old-fashioned, but whatever it is they're doing, they can do it without me. Close to the busy resorts are strips of sand more popular with locals than those here for their fortnight in the sun, like São Rafael, just a short drive away from Albufeira. But remember, the Atlantic is always 2 to 3 degrees cooler than the Med. Half an hour's drive inland is the ancient city of Sylves, an 8th century town in stark contrast to the modern resorts. So how do the people of Sylves really cope with this sort of tourist invasion?
It's had a good effect on the Portuguese economy, and everybody's benefiting it. The Algarve used to be agricultural, and now 80% of the people are involved in tourism.
Sylves Castle dates back to the time when the Moors dominated Portugal. But that's enough history for one day. Holidays are about having fun. And for 1,500 visitors a day, this is it. What a laugh! Faster than a speeding bullet. Water sports are also the main attraction at Villamora, Europe's largest private tourist project. 30 years ago, agricultural land, now home to 1,000 luxury yachts. And this is a location just as famous for another sport. Villamora Tres Golf Course, host to some of the world's finest golfers. It's my first attempt, and my tutor neglects to point out the rather unusual water hazards. It's in the water. There's a frogman.
A week's holiday in the Ura Estrella apartments in Albufeira works out at £228 each for a family of 4 sharing a one-bedroom apartment. The price includes flights and transfers. A round of golf at the Villamora golf course costs £35, and a day at the water park £7.40 per adult and £5.30 per child. The lungs are in need of a good workout, the hamstrings are due for an overhaul. The English countryside is renowned for its invigorating fresh air, so what better way is there to take advantage of it than on a bicycle? Certainly a little easier than rollerblading anyway. And what if you want to take your child? Well, Monty Don embarked on a cycling holiday in the Cotswolds with a very special companion.